There was a quote from Glen in our press notes that caught my eye. He said, an interesting fact about Retta is she's also incredibly well-versed in crime stories. So it was making me wonder, are there any particular crime stories out there that you found influencing your approach to the role?
Am I? I honestly, I don't like true crime because it scares me. It scares me.
This goes on, too.
I did used to listen to podcasts, and then I had to stop. So I'm now at a place where I'm like, enough. Yeah. Because I'm seeing that stuff in my sleep. I go to bed and I'm like, so I actively avoid it.
This is why I like my fake stories on the big screen where I can see all this stuff and just be safe and sound and know it's not real. The other part of that quote, though, was he also said that because of your expertise in that area, you would call people out when they were doing something wrong in terms of what police would be looking for in those situations.
It wasn't so much crime stories. It was just like the basics. It was the kind of thing I was like, well, remember in that scene, he did this? Then I feel like you would react like this. It was that kind of thing. So I wasn't so much crime as I was like, let's base it in the reality of this script, So I would bring up responses to something that happened, and I was like, well, he did meet her, that kind of thing.
Can you give us an example of a time when that happened that everyone can now see in the finished film?
So in the scene where Jasper calls out Gary and he's like, have you seen her? Have you seen Madison since you let her go? And originally, he says he did. I said to Glen, and so did he. You can call him out and put him in a position to be like, he didn't say anything having seen her after you had met with her. And Glen was really excited. He was like, yeah. I go, just remember, at the end of the movie, at the end of the script at the time, they never noted that. They had never said anything. I was like, so that's kind of going to screw up the end a little bit. He was like, well, we'll figure it out. And so they left that night. Yeah, they left that night and rewrote.
Job very well done. That played so well in house last night, too.
I literally, when it happened, I was like, ooh, that was good.
Yeah.
You should be very proud of that.
That was inspiring. During rehearsal, to see you just read the script and have that kind of read on the entire thing, I was like, I need to read more scripts.
Well, only because if somebody was backing me in a corner like that, I would be like, listen, you were there too. You know what I mean? That would be my response.
Makes all the sense in the
world.
world.
You didn't say anything.
Now that I've seen it. In the moment, I'd be like, I don't know what's going on, and I wouldn't think of anything smart to say or do. I also read that you two followed some detectives to prepare for this, or at least spoke to them. Is there anything about that line of work that you learned that I guess kind of surprised you?
Well, the surprising thing for me was that these New Orleans former detectives said that a lot of murders go unsolved. Mm-hmm. And that was really scary.
Yeah.
It was really stressful. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, we got a lot of swampland.
Yeah.
That's why the podcast business is flourishing.
I think for me, just realizing that these people sit in that van for a long time. Mm-hmm. And so that creates a certain dynamic. We're very comfortable with each other. And then also the sense of humor tends to get dark, tends to get a little rowdy, just because you're in these close quarters and the stuff that you're dealing with is dark. Yeah. So in order to deal with that, it just naturally tends that way. That was kind of interesting.
That kind of tees up some scene partner questions I have, because your back and forth, your chemistry, your cadence, spot on, absolutely loved it. Can you each tell me something about the other as a scene partner that you appreciated that you maybe think helped bring the best out of you as an actor in this movie?
I like to say I know how to improv. I'm very fearful of improv. I like to have the script and put my spin on it, but it took me a while to get comfortable with improv, so I like to be around people who know how to improv. And Sanjay knows how to improv. So that helps you. It eases me in knowing that the other person is going to come up with good stuff. Because a lot of times you'll just sit there and be like, what should I say, what should I say? But sometimes if you have to flow, you have to flow. And so if the other person really knows what they're doing, it makes it a little bit easier for me. So I'm happy that he's capable of improv.
I like it.
Oh yeah, for me, I was like trying to keep up, honestly. Like your energy, intelligence, and your confidence on set were all really inspiring to me. That
I've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah. But it was just like, oh, that's how you like handle business, kind of.
Right.
It was just nice to see, yeah.
I have one very specific improv question for you. The shorts part. How much of that is scripted and how much of that is you on the spot?
We had kind of this wide shot. I think there's the shot itself, Rick just kind of like figured out on the day. Rick and the team figured out on the day. So he was kind of just like, yeah, be physical, use your space. Hence, the squats, the kick, the like, it's actually pretty comfortable,
The kick and then the perfectly timed cut is
That
just
was
like the
great.
recipe for an A+
It's like
laugh.
we're kicking him out into the field. When I first saw that, I was like, that's wonderful. That's why he's Rick Linklater.
I don't know if you thought about this. I get obsessed with backstory, and there is a mention that at one point he became a fake hitman himself. What happened that went wrong in that situation?
So in my mind, I had created this situation where like I went in and I tried to be tough, but Phil is not a tough guy. And then you just end up in this situation where you don't know what to say, and people immediately know something's wrong, you're not real, what's going on, and things get a little pear-shaped, as I say in the film. From
Yes.
there. And I didn't want to experience that again.
That is pretty much how I would picture that
Yeah.
going down. You both mentioned last night that Rick is just like a very chill director and has that kind of vibe on set, and it was making me wonder, does he have a monitor dance? Is there something he does behind the monitor that signals to you like he's really loving a take?
We can't see it if he does.
Yeah.
Video Village is not visible from where we are, so I would never know.
He's so chill, because a good take, he'll just be like, did you like it? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it.
Dude's the master. Whatever his process is, whatever his reactions are, they are spot on, and he should keep doing
And
it
it
over and
works.
over, because his filmography will always keep me coming back for more.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Loved your movie.